soil and
Oh,
not
yeah.
concrete crap. Probably on a 7 o'clock time, huh?
Hopefully not.
What did I say the last thing I left? See you at 6 o'clock?
Hey, guys. Wow.
John, those make it 3
You were right, we can switch on four.
Sure.
I need somebody to make the motion.
Sure.
Did you what? Who's gonna do it, man? I can do it. Good. Get the rookie.
What's that?
Get the rookie.
It's all right.
Have you,
We were just discussing that.
Jess, have you been to training like we're gonna go to in May yet for zoning? Have you seen-
Not besides the one that we had in we had something in
May 3rd. Third of the-
No, it's a Friday, it's a third. It's really good.
there was
Are you going?
I think I am. I've been to it twice already. Once in Montello and once at Bouquet.
and we got a
Just
got another meeting scheduled over the top of that for here.
Yeah,
Tell you
I
about
gotta-
the new cases and
I
stuff.
gotta check my work schedule because you don't get
Oh.
back till 5, or it's not done till 5.
John must be on 7 o'clock time.
We were just talking about that.
Last thing I said when we left, see everybody at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fell asleep one time in his chair too.
As long as we got enough.
Are we ready?
He missed it. He's like, I'm so sorry if I sleep in the chair.
You ready? There we
You're
go.
ready, you're good.
Evening, everybody. We'll get started. I'll call this meeting of the Sheriff County Board of Adjustment to order. This meeting will begin with a public hearing. Anyone other than the applicant or the representative wishing to speak must register and submit the registration slip to the zoning administrator at this time. Following the public hearing, the board will conduct its monthly business meeting, at which time we will vote on the application. You may stay for the meeting and hear how the application was decided, or you may leave following the hearing. The applicant and town board will be sent a copy of tonight's decision. Any other person wishing to receive a copy of a decision can sign the sheet on the table at the front of the room. Those of you wishing immediate knowledge of the outcome of these proceedings may call the county zoning office tomorrow morning. The procedure we will follow for hearing the application tonight is, after the application is read, the applicant, their agent, or representative will have the opportunity to present their application, followed by any questions or comments from the board. Then all correspondence will be read, and others in favor will have a chance to speak. Anyone objecting will then have a chance to speak. I will then ask for a summary of the board's field observations and any staff comments. Finally, the applicant will be allowed a chance for a brief rebuttal if they wish. Anyone wishing to speak should use the microphone at the podium here, state your name, and direct your comments to the board. I ask that all testimony be kept brief and to the point. If you are testifying as a nearby landowner, please tell us where your property is located relative to the subject property. Tonight's hearing will be recorded, and the recordings will become part of the record. Comments that are based on hearsay or secondhand information, as well as slanderous or prejudicial remarks, will be ruled out of order. The board has looked at all the properties, and the records will reflect these observations. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this board has 30 days from the filing of tonight's decision to make an appeal. Such appeal shall be heard by the Waushara County Circuit Court. Information is available from the Clerk of Court's office and qualified legal counsel. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as to the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 30-day period. I'll now introduce the board. Dave Williams here in front, Jess Urban in back, George Peterman, and my name's Kevin Fitzgerald, and our zoning administrator, Todd. Tonight, we have one variance. Number one, Timothy and Linda Friedenthal, Watoma, Wisconsin, has made an application for variance in accordance with sections 58-451, 58-828, sub B of the Waushara County zoning code to place a driveway 210 feet from its existing driveway, 300 feet spacing required on County Road C for access to a landlocked parcel in the AG General Agricultural Zone. Location of parcel land being part of Lot 4, Section 33T, 19N, R10E, Town of Watoma, County Road C. Will the applicant please step forward and tell us a little bit about what you would like to do tonight? Evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, so what we want to
State your
do,
name, please, for the record.
Timothy Freudenthal.
Thank you.
What we would like to do is put a driveway, of course, as you read, within a 200-foot existing drive, which is under the county zoning ordinance for a county highway, 300 feet. And all along County Road C are numerous driveways that are subdistanced, as I pointed out in my application. So it's a very safe place along County Road C. We've got wide setbacks, plenty of visibility, easy on, easy off, and that's also in a reduced speed zone. So it's not subject to the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit where people are racing back and forth. So I would love to entertain any questions.
Okay. I have some questions for you, and then the board may have some questions for you. Has there been a recent survey?
A preliminary has been done. It's attached to your application.
Okay. We know where the road right away is, correct?
Correct.
And the driveways will be 210 feet apart?
Correct.
If approved? Have you talked to the town about this?
Have not talked to Jeff Net yet.
The county?
Yes.
Okay. Have they indicated whether a culvert is needed?
They have not said whether it is or not, but
Okay.
when we put the last drive in, it's anticipated a culvert will be needed.
Okay. Parking, I don't think is applicable. Turning around will be on the lot. There'll be no backing on the highway. What are the hardships and unique property limitations which would support this application?
So the hardships are we need to access the property off of County Road C. If we're gonna, our plan is to remove this parcel from our existing 30 acres, which will leave 28.8 acres. And we will be developing on the 1.2 acres with an agricultural building. So we will not have access off of the adjoining land.
If approved, do you know what permits you need?
Well, we'll need a driveway permit from the county. We will need building permits if we're going to develop. And I'll have to get electric run to the site.
And if it was granted, when would you start?
So if it was granted, the process would begin as soon as I get notification that the process has been accepted.
All right, I just have a question here. On your application, on number 3, protection of the public interest, you put down the protection of public interest as the reduction of shared liability and creation of safe access to the roadway. How is that protection of the public interest and reduction of shared liability?
So I consider my neighbors to be, or potential neighbors to be citizens, not being of our family.
Okay.
So that would be of the public interest. They would be other publics other than family members.
Okay. What other options do you have with this property?
So we have no options once it's separated.
You do have an option, don't you, have a shared driveway?
Okay, let's take a look at a shared driveway. Why would we pass the responsibility and liability onto another landowner plus the safety issue? I'm getting old. If I have a heart attack, I want the ambulance to find my driveway. I don't want them pulling in a driveway and deciding to turn left or right. So there are other things you can look at. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could come off a C with easement or off of 73, but it's not the easiest, best, the safest all around for the landowners on both sides, myself and the community, is to have a driveway directly off County Road C.
But it doesn't meet the 300 feet.
It doesn't. That's why we are asking for a variance.
And that's why a shared access is another availability to you.
So it is, but it really isn't. We're not going to put other liability upon somebody that may be purchasing our property down the road here.
Are there other shared driveways in the county?
I have no clue in the county, but along
Okay.
County Road C, the answer is no.
Okay,
And there are none that I know of on any other county road.
all right. I don't have anything else. Other questions, comments?
Just wanted, so the property that you, that's just cultural building.
Correct.
Put on that property.
No, if we were going to build, we would look down the future, but right now, the plan is just to put an agricultural storage building.
So it's just going to be farmed? Is that it? A lot?
The lot's not going to be farmed, but my farming equipment's going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. So that's,
It's, I didn't hear.
so eventually we could put a residence on there. That's why we do need the driveway.
Okay. All right. Questions, comments? Justin, anything?
Could I just make a comment?
Sure, go ahead.
You know, in your application from you, to the zoning office, it clearly states in here that you're planning on selling the home with the remaining 28.8 acres and creating a 1.2 acre site for yourselves.
Correct.
That's per your email.
Correct.
Okay, so,
So the for yourselves, I guess a lot of us were under the impression that you might have been building a new home, selling.
So we have another home to move into. At this time, we're going to take this one day at a time. The plan is to build the agricultural building, to store equipment until we decide what we're going to do down the road.
Okay.
There's no offer to purchase on the existing house now or anything like that.
I guess it doesn't really matter. We wouldn't want that to be public information if it was,
Yeah, I guess.
but there's not.
All right, please have a seat. We got correspondence and everything. We'll go through the list here and then you'll have a rebuttal.
okay. Zoning office did receive a letter, an email on Wednesday, March 1st from Jason Peschel from the Highway Department. It was addressed to Kyle Kutcher. Said, "Good morning, Kyle. I went and reviewed the Timothy Freudenthal proposed driveway location on his proposed 1 acre lot. The Washera County Highway Department finds no safety issues with the location of his proposed driveway location. The only issue is that it does not meet the driveway spacing of 300 feet from the driveway of the proposed site. Thanks, Jason Peschel."
Anyone registered to speak?
Nope, have nobody registered to speak in favor, objecting, or even informational.
Staff comments, please.
Okay. Everyone should have a copy of the final draft report final report, I apologize, in front of you. I'm just going to give a quick summary. The applicants, Timothy and Linda Freudenthal, are requesting a variance to place a driveway 210 feet from an existing driveway on County Road C, 300-foot spacing required for access to a newly created lot in an AG General Agricultural Zone in the town of Watoma. Subject property was part of a land split that was completed back in 1990. It was shortly after that in 1991 that the current landowners pulled a land use permit and a sanitary permit for a 3-bedroom home. Approximately 3 years after that, an additional land use permit was pulled for a 32 by 50 pole building. Per the submitted documents, the applicants now seek to sell their existing home with the vast majority of the property while splitting off a small 1.2 acre parcel down near County Road C, right off of County Road C, and having a separate access point, access drive to said lot. I have sent to all of you aerial drawings of the area as well as a compilation of CSMs. And on those CSMs, I've provided the dates of when those CSMs were completed, as well as the approximate locations of the center lines of the driveways. You will note that when you get towards the bend of County Road C, west of this site, you will see about 3 driveways that are far deficient in terms of meeting the driveway spacing standards. The current proposal is to provide a separate driveway for a new single-family residence, which will far exceed those distances, but still deficient in terms of meeting the county 300-foot spacing standards. The board visited the property at the recent onsite on Monday, April 17th, and discussed the variance request in depth. While a few of the board members cited a past variance and existing conditions to the west, a couple of the board members felt that the applicant did not meet the standards necessary in which to grant a variance. The members teetered on installing the driveway as shown or installing a shared driveway. The board also reviewed a letter from the highway department. It was noted that the highway department is reviewing speeds and sight distances. However, they do not review standards necessary in which to grant variances. That is the duties and obligations of the Board of Adjustment. Board also looked into pushing the drive further to the east, but later determined that was not a viable option, as said move would be nominal at best. It would result in the elimination of a number of mature trees and still would not result in meeting the county's driveway separation standards. Staff has reviewed this request and believes the applicant's justification and/or hardship is self-imposed, and that a shared driveway would actually improve vehicular safety on the County Highway C. Based upon the testimony tonight, I think there's further justification for a shared driveway, given the fact that the maneuvering and driveway turns are actually now going to be nominal because people don't access their accessory structures typically on a daily basis. Staff would argue that the conditions and that have changed considerably in the county over the past 23 years. Not only have speeds increased along many of our major roadways, our roads are now carrying a considerable amount of additional vehicles, presenting more conflicts when vehicles turn. In this instance, staff also does not believe the code is unnecessarily burdensome and that the landowner could enact a permitted use without need of a variance. Staff would argue that there are no unique limitations preventing the landowner from meeting the required standards. And when I refer to unique limitations, there are no severe grade differentials, there's no creeks, there's no wetlands, there's nothing that would technically split the properties, thereby necessitating 2 separate roadways. Staff is also concerned over the potential for establishing future precedents should additional property owners along the stretch of County Road C wish to split their land and do exactly as the Freudenthals are and request additional drives that do not meet our standards. While the board will be making a decision on this request later in the evening, staff is recommending denial of the variance to place a driveway 210 feet from an existing driveway on County Road C, subject to the denial reasons and the conditions as listed in your staff report.
Board have any questions of Todd? Hearing none, Mr. Friedenthal, you have your rebuttal if you'd like it.
Okay, Linda Freudenthal.
State your name, please.
Linda Freudenthal.
Thank you.
Okay. So it's allowable to create a 1 acre parcel in an ag. What we want to do is create our retirement home there. Coming in from a joint driveway, I've been selling real estate for 4 decades. It's really, really difficult to have a shared driveway agreement for 2 residential areas, but maybe that's the way you want to have it in the future. What we wanted to do is put up our ag building and then our retirement home and access a short driveway off of County Road C. And we only have 1 acre there. So if zoning allows 1 acre parcels to be developed in that area, then it would just make sense that you could have access to it. That road is really straight there. In fact, people go way too fast there. To have a joint driveway, what we'd have to do is go in the driveway and we'd have to go with our headlights going opposite the oncoming traffic to access the building. So if you've ever been on a road where the headlights are coming the opposite direction toward you to get to a property, sometimes that's a little bit hazardous. So what I'm hoping you would see the logic into it is just having a short driveway to go into the property where we could have our retirement home.
Any
That's something
questions?
that you don't think you can do? I don't know.
Any questions?
So we would have like 300 feet that we would have to drive back. Not quite 300 feet that we would have to drive back to the site because we'd want to put the building way on the east lot line.
And if I could I rebut?
Yeah.
So Linda, I understand your argument. There's two things here though that I'd like to address. Number one, those are minimums, minimum 1 acre, and minimum 100-foot drive or lot width on an AG property. Those are minimums. And that we typically ask that, you provide the 300-foot so that you can provide adequate distance between driveways. The other thing is, and I know when you talk about liability, this is a perfect situation where you can compose and author the shared access agreement. So it would be in something that would be agreeable to you, and any future owner or future buyer is going to have to buy into that shared access agreement. And in terms of how you orient the driveway, that's up to you guys to make it as safe as possible, but it doesn't have to be exactly parallel to County Road C. You have the ideal. When you look at shared driveway agreements and shared driveway concepts per state manuals and county highway manuals, you have the ideal situation. You could come in and Y off of that.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Yeah.
Try and sell those.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're here to hear your thoughts.
Thank you.
Sure.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, that'll conclude the public hearing. We'll go right into our business meeting.
Nope. You guys, you don't have to leave if they're going to vote.
Okay. Have the roll call, show the four board members here. I'll take a motion for the approval of the agenda.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve.
George, second, Jess? Second?
You make a motion to approve
Yeah.
The agenda.
the agenda, second.
All those in favor? Approval of the minutes from Monday, you have a copy of that in front of you. Motion by Dave to approve, a second.
I'll second.
George, second, all in favor?
All right.
Motion pass. New business, action on the public hearing application. Is there a motion on the floor, board?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I motion to deny the variance.
We have a motion by Jess to deny. Do we have a second? Dave Williams, second. Jess, your reasons for the motion.
Based on the information given here, unnecessary hardship is not present, and the code requirements are not unnecessarily burdensome and will not prevent the owner from using the property for a permitted use. Because the landowner, excuse me, the landowner has reasonable use already. Cumulative impacts can be foreseen. A self-imposed hardship cannot be grounds for an approval. Other alternatives exist, such as constructing a shared driveway, since the applicants maintain control of both properties at the present time and can dictate the parameters of the shared access agreement. A loss of profit or inconvenience is not a hardship. The hardship is not due to unique physical features or limitations of the property and appear to be unique to the applicant as follows. While there are similar lots in the area, the applicants maintain control of the situation. The code requirements are not unnecessarily burdensome and should be adhered to. The hardship is unique to the property owner. This is a self-imposed hardship. No other hardship is noted. A loss of profit is not a hardship. No unique lot features were noted by the board. The variance will harm the public interest or neighboring land uses and damage the intent of zoning code because public safety could be compromised. This would make a bad situation worse. The proposal appears to be for convenience to the landowner only. An approval would undermine the code and harm the neighboring properties and public interest at large. The landowner should pursue other locations or building plans. Therefore, the requested variance, if denied, the following conditions shall apply. Any future access to a newly created lot shall be via a shared driveway. The applicant will allow agents of Waushara County to access the property and ensure compliance with the terms of this decision, Waushara County codes and state and federal laws.
Okay, you've heard Jess's reasons for denial. A yes vote is to deny. I'll take a roll call vote. Dave Williams? George Peterman?
Yes.
Jess Urban?
Yes.
Kevin Fitzgerald, yes. It's 4 yeses to deny. Let's see what else we have on the agenda here. Any extensions?
Nope.
Maps?
Nope.
Next month's, well, we got the financial report the other day on Monday, and we have 3 variances for
Correct.
May.
3.
Three variances and planning and zoning, we have 4. So it'll be a
So we go
tight
first?
meeting. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
A chuckle.
Any
from
other
the back.
comments or questions before I ask for a motion to adjourn? Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second. Dave, second. George made the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Motion passed. Have a good week. See you next month.
5 minutes next time. Said 20 minutes, not 25.
I started late. How are you?
Good.
Am I gonna see?
All right. I will call this meeting in Waushara County Planning and Zoning Committee to order. This meeting will be conducted in the same manner as the applications heard by the Board of Adjustment. Please remember to keep your comments brief, no more than 5 minutes, and relative to the matter at hand. Anyone other than the applicant or their representative wishing to speak at this hearing must have registered. Anyone who has not should do so immediately and submit the registration slip to the zoning administrator. The committee has looked at the properties or been provided with some adequate pictures, and the record will reflect these observations. Following the public hearing, the committee will conduct their monthly business meeting, at which time we will vote on the applications. You may stay and hear how the applications are decided, or you may leave following the public hearing. Any person affected by an administrative decision of this committee has 10 days from the filing of tonight's decision to file an appeal. Such appeals are heard by the Washera County Board of Adjustment. Information and applications are available from the county zoning office. The county assumes no liability and makes no warranty as to the legality of any construction commenced prior to the expiration of this 10-day period. I will now introduce the committee. To my far left, John Van Amergren. To my immediate left, Bart Peterson. In the back, in the corner, Dave Bossard. And to his right side is Pat King. My name is Robert Wadle. Todd Waller, our zoning administrator, is here, and Becky and
It's okay,
Cindy.
you can forget about my name, it's more than 5 years.
Cindy Lou is in the back. Sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you're plucky. All right, the first application we will consider tonight is Mark Gustafson, Coloma, Wisconsin, has made an application for conditional use in accordance with section 58-664, paragraph 2 of the Washera County zoning code to conditionally establish an auto repair business in an existing 30 by 80 building located in a CG general commercial zone. The location, a 0.89 of an acre. Is that the correct terminology? 0.89?
0.97.
0.97, okay, where'd I look? No, that's.
I'm sorry, you're down. Yes, 0.89 acres.
Okay,
We're good.
clean my glasses. Parcel of land being part of Lot 1, Section 10, Town 18 North, Range 80, Town of Coloma, Wisconsin, address W13124 North Front Street. Would the applicant or the representative please come forward?
Yeah,
You
you
can
guys,
both,
can.
come up, whatever. And then you explained when we were out there, but just for the record, kind of tell us what you guys are up to.
Automotive repair.
Speak into the mic. There
Automotive repair.
you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Anything else, that you need us?
No, that's it. Automotive repair.
Okay. There's a few general questions and then the committee may have some, so, if you'd like to stand there and answer them. Do you know where the property lines are?
Yes, I do.
Hey, has there been a recent survey or not?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay.
When I bought the property,
And you're pretty sure you know where the corners are?
we had to change that photograph. Had it for the county here, and the neighbor does agree.
Okay, that was my next question, if you talked to the neighbors.
And he
Okay.
actually put the stakes up and showed up.
Okay, have you talked to the town of Coloma yet? Town board?
Yeah.
They're okay with it? No. Okay. You are gonna, that may be in some of our conditions, but you have no problem with having a sufficient containment for like antifreeze, oil?
We have containments, we have an oil burning furnace, which the oil goes right into.
Okay,
If there is extra, there is a containment that was built by Randy Adler years ago. If we have to store it there, there's a concrete containment area. Set the drums in if we have.
okay. And you're not aware of any additional permits that you might need from anybody, DNR? or-
And, not a auto body, just
Are there any questions from the committee?
I was just curious, is that sanitary, you have a septic system or do you have, are you
No,
hooked
there's
up to s-
not.
there's no septic system.
They had no bathrooms?
No.
No, but we're not open to the public. And he actually rents an office for me at my other shop across the street. There's all, they come to lunch over there. I've got the old pill factory.
Oh, okay.
So when they come over and they have to do it,
So no water at the shop?
there is water. There's a well there, yeah. But we didn't put the well in, so the well was there. 6-inch water.
Is that, I mean, if there ever would be a need, is there, but you're not in the village. The village has sewer, correct?
The village does, but they will not, they
They
don't
won't.
run it that.
Okay,
And we wanted to buy the land before that.
okay.
And I talked to the water Nazi Brenda. I wanted to buy the land and there's been trouble there. I says, okay. I wanted to put up a house.
Mhm.
And she goes, well, there's no guarantee. If I put a septic and a well, and she says, there's no guarantee. Then next year we can just run sewer there. That would be just.
Oh. Too many ifs.
Yeah, I says, this is crazy.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I just have a couple
Okay.
questions if I could. Your hours of operation?
8 to 5.
8 to 5,
Monday,
Monday,
Friday.
Monday through Friday?
Yes.
Okay,
And there's just the two of you?
I guess
Right.
that would depend on if there's an emergency, someone comes off the
Sure.
road to say, could you assist?
okay.
That would pertain.
And just the two employees, you and the other gentleman that's
Yeah.
in there?
Yes.
Correspondence?
Have no correspondence, but I did receive a phone call on March 16th from Mark Kirschner, who at the time was the town chair, who indicated the town did review this at one of their meetings and reviewed the matter and had no objections.
Okay, anyone in favor or objecting?
I've got nobody registered.
Okay, staff comments.
Okay.
You guys can take a seat if you like.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, everyone should have a copy of the final staff report. As stated, the applicant, Mark Gustafson, owner and operator of the property, is requesting a conditional use to conditionally establish an auto repair business in an existing 30 by 80 building located in a CG general commercial zone in the town of Coloma. In terms of project history, it should be noted the subject property has historically been used as an automotive repair service business since the early 2000s. It was in 2004, the county approved a zone change from AG to CG for the specific purposes of allowing light truck repairs. Then in 2004, the county approved a conditional use for a camper repair service and display operation. And then later in 2012, the county approved another conditional use to establish an auto detailing and sales business at this location. For whatever reason, in 2013, the county conducted an investigation of the premises and found that the business had seized and was up for sale. It was shortly after this time that the conditional use elapsed. It was only recently noted that the business was back up and operating as we received a complaint. When we visited the property, there were about 30 plus cars on the premises in the front of the property. And then per the submitted documents, just additional things, hours of operation 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, 2 employees, no body work or painting, nor detailing, just strictly mechanical. Committee visited the property at the recent onsite on Wednesday, April 19th, and were generally supportive of their request. They believed an automotive repair service business at this location, if kept in a neat and orderly manner, should not harm the public nor neighboring land uses. The board did note several in-ops, scrap, and a couple of old unlicensed semi-trailers and containers at the rear and side of the building. The board wished to see that that area was effectively cleaned up, screened, and fenced, and that the travel trailers be removed as their current use is in direct violation of county code. Board had recommended that the applicant work with staff on an acceptable time frame in which to clean said area up. Staff has reviewed this request and believes that the use as proposed, if kept in a neat and orderly fashion, can be a welcome service to the community and its residents. It is obvious the county has supported this type of use at this location. It has been automotive in nature for nearly 2 decades. While the county will be making a recommendation on this request later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the conditional use request as noted. I would like to just highlight just 2 conditions of which were discussed out in the field. Within 1 year of the date of the notice of decision, we're asking that all vehicles waiting to be serviced and all other in-ops, parts, tires, etc., shall be stored behind a solid fence so that storage is not visible from the public roadways or neighboring properties. And then in addition, within 1 year of the date of the notice of decision, the existing semi-trailers which are not being used for their intended use shall be removed from the premises. Semi-trailers being used as storage containers are in direct violation of county code.
You guys have anything to add or rebuttal or anything? Okay. You're welcome to stay. It shouldn't take us too long to get the other folks' and then we'll, at our regular meeting, we'll make a decision.
And if I could, I just have one more question in that. So Cindy had just handed me something with regard to the water, and this is a question. Is the water, do you have a sink or anything in there? Where's the water coming from? Where's it going?
Well,
You have no fixtures?
time, we were talking to Kirschner, we want to put a septic in there,
Okay.
but obviously we're not gonna, I don't know much about it, but, sound system, but
Is the well outside the structure or?
it's a 6-inch well that I think Randy Adler put in.
Okay.
But other than
Is
that,
there a faucet or, and that, or is it just outside a hose bib? You guys go out, wash your hands by outside and that type of thing?
There's a hot water heater there that has been inactive.
Okay.
There's a ticket, but
Okay. Because you know if fixtures are, and that's one of the conditions is that, you know, if there are fixtures and that in there, then obviously we're going to need a sanitary permit.
right.
Okay.
If things go right, obviously we do want to put a septic system in there. We'd like to get a bathroom in there
Okay.
instead of renting one from outhouse. You don't have people come in. When we first started, he comes up to my shop. They have an office up there. My facilities up there if needed.
Okay.
So that's why we didn't want any customers in there. Matt said for,
Okay.
a waiting room.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, guys.
That's fine. The next application will be Jose, is that correct? Jose Ramirez Lopez of Plainfield has made an application for a conditional use in accordance with section 58-454, paragraph 31 of the Wachira County zoning code to place a used 1997 Redman 16-foot by 80-foot mobile home in a future attached deck in AG General Ag Zone. Location, a .97 acre parcel of land known as section 14, town 20 north, range 8 east, town of Plainfield. Address N6294 Fifth Avenue. Would you like to come up and tell us what your plans are?
Hello, my name is Claudia Gonzalez, and basically what we want to do is, like you said, put a 1997 mobile home on the property that's on North 6294 Fifth Avenue. I guess, as you can see in the pictures that we gave to the county, the mobile home's in pretty good condition for being a 1997, and I think it would look very nice since you can see right on the Fifth Avenue road. I think it would look really nice, honestly. So I guess that's basically it. We have a septic there already, and once hopefully this gets approved, we want to put a well after that, and we have somewhere to stay now, so we're not living there at all right now. And yeah, that's basically it.
There'll be some questions like the other folks had to answer, and then the committee may have some, but I noticed on the one picture, there's a travel trailer there or a camper. Are you using that for?
No, we don't use it at all. We just kind of bought it to store, like, we have 3 kids, so we have bins in there, you know, with clothes and, you know, stuff like that,
But you're not living there?
no, we're not living there. We have a home. Yeah.
Okay. All right, do you know where the property lines are?
Yes, we didn't get it surveyed, but the owner before us got it surveyed. I don't know what year he got it surveyed, but we actually went and talked to him. He's a TN surveyor here in town.
Okay.
And so we went and talked to him, and he said he did all the surveying and stuff. And so we know where the property line is. Yeah.
And have you talked to, I know where the place is, there's not much for neighbors, but have you
Yeah.
talked to the closest neighbors if they've got any concerns or?
No.
Okay. And have you talked to the town of Plainfield Town Board at all?
We called Mr. Harrison.
Possibly.
Yeah, and but I got no answer.
Oh.
I left a voicemail. I left a couple voicemails. He never answered me, and I called him a couple times. He never answered. So, I mean, I left a voicemail telling him what was going on, but like I said, I never got an answer. So I'm guessing he knows, unless that number doesn't work anymore.
There may be some in the correspondence, I don't know, but when we get to that.
Okay.
Does the committee have any questions?
I noticed you were gonna your intent is to put a porch on the,
Yeah, we want to put a deck on it so it looks nice. I mean, the mobile home is in a dealership, basically, in a mobile home dealership right now, and they don't, the home doesn't come with any kind of stairs or anything. So we want to put a nice deck on it, not too big. I don't know how big it can be until you can get or until we need a permit for it, but we would like to put a 6x10 about. So yeah.
And what's your intent for skirting?
The
You
skirting,
skirt the
yeah,
trail?
we already talked to called the mobile home place at a store, the stuff store in Fond du Lac, and they already told us that they have skirting and stuff. So we just want to make sure that this is going to be approved, and then we're going step by step on what we want to do next.
Okay.
And we also talked about anchoring the home. I don't know if it's required to be anchored or not, but either way, we talked to them about it, and they said that, yeah, as long as, well, the first step is obviously to get approved, and then we want to put it on gravel, and after that, then the North County Homes would bring the mobile home, set it down, and then they would come and anchor it.
So you're not including a basement or any
No.
footings or foundations for it?
No.
Any other questions from the committee?
Just it would be a good idea to anchor it.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
That's going to be required by UDC.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so we talked about them about, or we talked to them about, and they said that they would come and check it out after the home was put.
I guess you can have a seat for now. We'll give you a chance to speak again at the end, but
Okay.
Correspondence.
Okay, we haven't received any correspondence from anybody on it, so, and we have nobody registered to speak in favor, objecting, or informational.
Okay, staff comments.
Okay. Once again, just like to give a quick little review of the staff report. The applicants, Jose Ramirez Lopez, owner of the property, is requesting conditional use to place a used 1997 Redmond 16-foot by 80-foot mobile home and a future attached deck in the AG General Agricultural Zone in the town of Plainfield. The county does maintain several files on the subject property. It's kind of ironic, in 1993, the previous owner approached the county for a conditional use for a mobile home. However, that request was denied. However, I'd like to point out, at that time, the applicant sought to bring in an older dated mobile home and attach it to an aging existing single-family residence. And they were also planning on trying to take down portions of the home and attach the mobile home, which is against UDC criteria. So that was ultimately denied. Property also came under investigation in 2020 for maintenance issues on an aging septic system. Those have since been cleared up. Mr. Ramirez has apparently owned this property since 2021, and since that time has not only replaced an older sanitary system, they've raised the single-family home. As you can see from the pictures, it's now vacant. It appears from the photos that the proposed mobile home is in very good shape, both interior and exterior. Staff visited the property on April 19th and took several photos of the lot, as you can see. Should be noted that there was a travel trailer present at the time. We will put conditions in the approval, should it be approved, that said travel trailer is used in accordance with the county codes 58-9 and 58-233B, which is basically stating that they're allowed to use the travel trailer if they want at the present time. It just would have to be removed after use, or during construction, they would be allowed, or during setup of the mobile home, they could stay in the travel trailer while that home is under construction for a period of 1 year. Staff has reviewed this request and believes the placement of a used dwelling at this location with improvements already completed, new sanitary and raising of the existing dwelling, as well as a planned deck should in no way detract from the area property values. Staff just requests that the property and home be maintained and kept like new. While the committee will be making a recommendation on this or a decision later in the evening, staff is recommending approval of the conditional use subject to the conditions listed.
Did you have anything else to add or say at this time? Come up to the microphone, please.
If I understood correctly, the RV or the trailer can stay there, right? As long as we're not living in it. Like, once the mobile home is there.
Knowing that you're going through the process and that, as long as you continue to go through this process, we're good. If for some reason though that you should fail, and I'm just saying that
Yeah.
all of a sudden the deal falls through on the mobile home, then you're most likely going to be asked to move the travel trailer. We don't allow travel trailers on lots less than 10 acres to be stored there.
Oh, okay. So as long as there's a mobile home there, the RV could stay there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then also it can be put on, or the mobile home, if it's approved, it can be put on gravel.
That's something you'd have to check with the building inspector on. It depends upon the age of the mobile home. The newer mobile homes are required to be on concrete bases. Once again, that's something you can check in the morning here and that with our building inspector, or give me a call and I'll connect you with them.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I think that was it.
Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. That concludes our hearing. We'll go into the agenda then. Roll call, show that all are present. The applications, we discussed those. Motion to approve the agenda as printed.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by John, second by Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? You should have all received in your packet here tonight a copy of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Bart, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. No unfinished business, new business, action on the public hearing applications. The first one, Mark Gustafson, what are your wishes, gentlemen?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Who would like to read the conditions?
I would, may I ask about an additional condition? Would we place an additional condition that if plumbing fixtures are operational within the building, that a septic system would be required?
Sure.
Okay, do you want to read the other reasons and conditions then, David?
Therefore, the requested application, if approved, the following conditions shall apply. The development must be in substantial compliance with the site plan and testimony provided at the public hearing. All other required setbacks and all other codes must be complied with. The property must be kept in a neat and orderly manner at all times. Failure to comply with this and any other condition of the notice of decision may result in a recommendation to rescind the conditional use. All permits must be obtained, including land use, building, and sanitary if needed. The applicant shall contact the county building inspector within 30 days of this approval and comply with their recommendations in the adopted building code, including adequate sanitary facilities. Adequate parking must be provided. The driveway shall meet all required codes, including fire and access code requirements to provide for access by emergency vehicles. In addition, the driveway shall provide good visibility and a turnaround area to prevent backing onto the road. The applicant will allow agents of Waushara County access to the property to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. If the building has any floor drains, the applicant is responsible for checking with the DNR to determine how the wastes are to be collected and disposed of. The applicant is responsible for complying with any other applicable regulations. All advertising signs must be in accordance with all county and state requirements. All hazardous and toxic materials, including waste oils, etc., shall be stored and handled in accordance with state and federal requirements. No air conditioning work, painting, or body work shall be done. Within 1 year of the date of the notice of decision, all vehicles waiting to be serviced and all other inoperative vehicles, parts, tires, etc., shall be stored behind a solid fence so that such storage is not visible from public roads or neighboring properties. Within 1 year of the date of the notice of decision, the existing semi-trailers, which are not being used for their intended use, shall be removed from the premises. Semi-trailers being used as storage containers are in direct violation of county code. No salvaging or scrapping out of vehicles or machinery is permitted, and no sale of vehicles or machinery is permitted.
Right, we didn't read the reasons, but
Yeah, we should go back and
we
just
should
state
go
the
back
reasons.
to the reasons, just for the
I
record.
got a question.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. No,
Yes,
I-
you have to
yeah.
wait.
Just what, about the salvaging of cars, I don't quite understand what you mean by that.
That's selling, scrapping parts and selling the parts for salvage.
If we have a junk car, we have to get rid of it. We have to.
Correct. That's
Right.
different.
Okay, would you like to read the reasons on the previous pages then?
Sure.
Dave?
The requested application, if approved, will be consistent with the spirit and intent of the zoning code and will not be contrary to the public interest because after reviewing the application and considering all related testimony, the application, if approved with conditions, will not harm the public or neighboring land uses. Visibility is good at the driveway location and traffic is slowed here. There are no public safety issues, and the proposal matches the lot and available area.
All right, thank you, Dave. With that in mind, I'm gonna take a roll call vote. Yes being we approve it, no, deny it. Bart,
I approve, yes.
John,
Approve.
Dave,
Approve.
Pat,
Yes, approved.
myself, yes, it is approved with the conditions. Okay, the next one is the Ramirez Lopez application. How do you wish on that, gentlemen?
Motion to approve.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
All right. Heard the motion and second. Bart, would you like to read the reasons and the justification in
Sure.
that?
The requested application will be consistent with the spirit and intent of the zoning code and will not be contradictory to the public interest because, one, after reviewing the application and considering all related testimony, the application, if approved with conditions, will not harm the public or neighboring land uses. Visibility is good at the driveway location and traffic is slowed here. There is no public safety issues. The other proposed matches of the lot are available in the available area.
All right, possible approval conditions.
Therefore, the requested application, if approved, the following conditions shall apply. The development must be in substantial compliance with the site plan and the testimony provided at the public hearing. All of the required setbacks and all other codes must be complied with. All permits must be obtained, including land use, building, and sanitary reconnect. Adequate parking must be provided. Use of the existing travel trailer shall comply with the definition of such 58, paragraph 9, and per the temporary use condition 58, paragraph 235, section B, should the travel trailer be occupied during the construction or setup of the mobile home. The driveway shall meet all required codes, including fire and access code requirements to provide all access by emergency vehicles. In addition, the driveway shall provide good visibility and a turnaround to prevent backing up into the road. The applicant will allow agents of the Waushara County access to the property to ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. The color pictures show that the home is well maintained and in good repair, and if proposed additions and alterations are done in a timely manner, the placement of the used home would not detract from the surrounding land use. The foundation, water, sewer, and electrical connections must be conformed with uniform dwelling code requirements.
All right, thank you, Bart. I'll now take a yes or no vote. Yes to approve, no to deny. Patrick,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
John,
Yes, approve.
Bart,
Yes, approve.
myself, yes, it is approved. Okay, that concludes that. Action on request for extension of land use or permits?
We have none.
None. Review and action on request for minor changes to previously approved.
We have none.
Review of next month's public hearing.
We have 4 conditional uses.
Wow.
Yep.
Getting busy.
Yep.
Okay, with that said, you give us the financial report and everything yesterday. Anything else? Otherwise, a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned. Still haven't found out anywhere if that's it. Well, I was told, I'm gonna find this. It's a preferred motion. You don't need to.
Perfect.
So I don't know. I'm
I
gonna,
just go by whatever your name is, whatever you say.
I'm gonna.
If adjournment is on, if